Hello everyone. This is Dr. Vidya Gavande, lecturer, Department of Pharmacy, Government Polytechnic Amravati. Today I am going to discuss regarding classification of proteins. How proteins are classified on the basis of different considerations, different bases we will see one by one. The learning outcome of today's video is, after completion of this video, student will be able to explain different classes of proteins. Student will be able to classify proteins. Student will be able to differentiate between different classes of proteins. First is how proteins are classified on different bases. First basis is chemical nature and solubility. Second basis is on the basis of functions they perform. Third one is nutritional classification of proteins. On the basis of chemical nature and solubility, proteins are classified as follows. First is simple proteins. Simple proteins are composed of only amino acid residues. We know that proteins are polymers of amino acid. So in simple proteins, only amino acids are present. Next is conjugated proteins. Besides the amino acids, these conjugated proteins contain a non-proteinous moiety, which is called as prosthetic group. And on the basis of presence of type of prosthetic group, these conjugated proteins again subclassified into different classes. We will see further. Last is derived proteins. Derived proteins are the denatured or degraded products of simple and conjugated proteins. Then first is simple proteins. Simple proteins get subclassified into again two types. First is globular protein. Next is fibrous proteins. Globular proteins are spherical or oval in shape. They are soluble in water or other solvents. They are digestible. Fibrous proteins are fiber-like in shape. They are insoluble in water, and fibrous proteins are resistant to digestion. Then we will see one by one regarding simple proteins. First is albumins. Albumins are soluble in water and dilute salt solutions. Albumins coagulated by heat. For example, serum albumin, which is present in serum, ova albumin present in egg, lactalbumin present in milk. Next is globulins. Globulins are soluble in neutral and dilute salt solutions. For example, serum globulins, vitellin, which is present in egg yolk. Next is glutealins. Glutealins are soluble in dilute acids and alkalis. Glutealins mostly found in plants. For example, glutealin of wheat, originin of rice. Prolamins. Prolamins are soluble in 70% alcohol. Example is gliadin of wheat, gin of maize. Next is histones. Histones are strongly basic proteins. Histones are soluble in water and dilute acids but insoluble in dilute ammonium hydroxide. Example is thymus histones. Globins. Globins are generally considered along with histones. However, globins are not basic proteins like histones and are not precipitated by ammonium hydroxide. Protamins. Protamins are strongly basic proteins and resemble histones but smaller in size and soluble in ammonium hydroxide. Protamins are also found in association with nucleic acids. For example, sperm proteins. Lectins. Lectins are carbohydrate binding proteins and are involved in the interaction between cells and proteins. They help to maintain tissue and organ structures. In the laboratory, lectins are useful for the purification of carbohydrates by affinity chromatography. You know very well what is affinity chromatography. Affinity chromatography is a technique in which the difference in absorption depends on the specific affinity between a substance fixed in separation material, that is the absorbent, and desired component in the mixture, that is the ligand. So this is important. Lectins, they are used for purification of carbohydrate by affinity chromatography. For example, agglutinin, concavalin A. Now we will see fibrous proteins. Fibrous proteins, first is collagens. Albuminides or scleroproteins are predominant group of fibrous proteins. First we will see about collagens. Collagens are connective tissue proteins lacking tryptophan, means tryptophan is not present in collagen structure. Collagens on boiling with water or dilute acids yield gelatin, which is the well-known protein, which is soluble and digestible. Next is elastins. Elastins are found in elastic tissues such as tendons and arteries. Next is keratins. Keratins are present in exoskeletal structures. For example, hair, nails, horns. Human hair keratin contains as much as 14% of cysteine. The cysteine is nothing but one of the example of sulfur containing amino acid. Next is conjugated proteins. Conjugated proteins are again subclassified into different classes. First one is nucleoproteins. Here nucleic acid is the prosthetic group. For example, nucleohistones and virus proteins. Next is glycoproteins. Glycoproteins, the prosthetic group is carbohydrate which is less than 4% of protein. If the carbohydrate percent is more than 4% in glycoproteins, then the term mucoprotein is used. Example is mucin of saliva, ovomucide of egg white. Next is lipoproteins. Lipoproteins consisting of protein covalently bound with lipids. Here lipid as prosthetic group. For example, low density lipoprotein, very low density lipoprotein, high density lipoprotein and intermediate density lipoprotein. These lipoproteins are found in our body. Next is phosphoprotein. Here phosphoric acid is present as a prosthetic group. The well-known example of phosphoprotein is casein of milk. Again, vitellin of egg yolk. Next is chromoproteins. Chromoproteins, the prosthetic group is colored substance in chromoproteins. Example is hemoglobin. Hemoglobin cytochromes. Then next is metalloproteins. In metalloproteins, metal ions are present as prosthetic group. These proteins contain metal ions such as Fe, that is iron, Co, that is cobalt, Zn, that is zinc, Cu, that is copper, Mg, that is magnesium, etc. Example is ceruloplasmin, which consisting of Cu, that is copper, carbonic anhydrase consisting of zinc. Next is derived proteins. Derived proteins are derived from simple and conjugated proteins. We will see one by one. Derived proteins are again subclassified into primary derived proteins and secondary derived proteins. Primary derived proteins are denatured or coagulated or first hydrolyzed products of proteins, while secondary derived proteins are degraded products of proteins. These are degraded due to breakdown of peptide bonds. Then we will again, these primary derived proteins are again subclassified into three, that is coagulated protein. First is, that is next is proteins, that is third is metaproteins. So we will see one by one. Coagulated proteins are the denatured proteins produced by agents such as heat, acids, alkalis. Example is cooked proteins, that is coagulated albumin. Next is proteins. Proteins, these are the earliest products of protein hydrolysis by enzymes, dilute acids, alkalis, etc., which are insoluble in water. Example is fibrin produced from fibrinogen. Next is metaproteins. These are the second stage products of protein hydrolysis obtained by treatment with slightly stronger acids and alkalis. Example is acid and alkali metaproteins. Then secondary derived proteins has examples. These are nothing but progressive hydrolytic products. Example is proteose, peptones, polypeptides, peptides. Next is another basis. Here we have finished the first basis classification, that is classification based on chemical nature and solubility. Now next basis is functional classification. Based on the functions they perform, proteins are classified into following groups with examples. First is structural proteins. These proteins are the components of tissue structures. Example is keratin of hair, nails, collagen of bone. Next is catalytic proteins. Catalytic proteins perform the function of catalysis. The enzymes are biocatalysts. They act as biocatalyst for biochemical reactions taking place in body. So all enzymes are proteinous in nature. Therefore, these all enzymes, they fall under the group of catalytic proteins. Example is hexokinase, lipase, amylase or any of enzyme. Next is transport proteins. These proteins perform the function of transport of components or substances in the body. Example is transferrin, involved in transport of iron. Example is hemoglobin, involved in transport of oxygen, carrying of oxygen. Then serum albumin. Next is hormonal proteins. Hormones are proteinous in nature, and hormones, they act as chemical messenger. So insulin is the example. Growth hormone is the example. Next is contractile proteins. Proteins like actin, myosin, they perform the function of contraction of muscles. So such proteins help in contraction. They fall under the category contractile proteins. Next is storage proteins. Certain proteins like ferritin, glutein, ovalbumin, they help in storage of certain substances in our body. Ferritin is used for storage of iron. So such proteins, they are called as storage proteins. Next is genetic proteins. Genetic proteins help in gene expression. They are involved in genetic control. Example is nucleoproteins. Again, histones is also genetic proteins. Next is defense proteins. Defense proteins are involved in function of defense. These are immunoproteins. These are also called as immunoproteins, immunoglobulins, snake venoms. These are the example. Next is receptor proteins. Receptors present in body, they are proteinous in nature. They are hormones. For receptor proteins for hormones, viruses, this fall under this category. Now we have finished the functional classification. Now we will move towards nutritional classification. The nutritive value of proteins is determined by the composition of essential amino acids. Now, what is the meaning of essential amino acids? Two types of amino acids are there, essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. Essential amino acids are those which are not synthesized in our body and therefore we have to obtain them from diet. And non-essential amino acids are those which are produced or synthesized in our body and therefore no need to obtain from diet. So there are 10 essential amino acids. Based on presence or absence of, or based on composition of these essential amino acids, these proteins are again classified into 3 types or 3 categories. We will see one by one. First is complete proteins. Proteins having all 10 essential amino acids in required proportion, they are called as complete proteins. Example is casein of milk, albumin of egg. Next is partially complete proteins. These proteins partially lacking one or more essential amino acids. For example, wheat proteins, rice proteins, and third one is incomplete proteins. These proteins completely lack one or more essential amino acids. For example, gelatin lacks tryptophan, gin lacks tryptophan and lysine. Now, apart from this, additionally, I have to say that there is presence of alpha-1 phytoprotein. This is nothing but alpha-1 globulin present in high concentration in fetal blood during pregnancy. Normal adult blood has less than 1 microgram per 100 ml of this alpha-1 phytoprotein, and human blood containing increased amount of alpha-1 phytoprotein indicates hepatocellular carcinoma or teratoblastoma, which is the type of tumor or cancer. So these are about certain proteins, and these are some references from which I have collected all this information and prepared the PPT presentation. I hope you all you all have understood the what I have discussed here. Thank you very much.